No, I don't want to have this comment highlighted. Okay, there we go. Wow, it is. Okay, there we go. Hello, internet. Welcome to another running stream. I'm starting to have a lot of fun with these running streams. Ah, this stream is called "Are You Fighting the Current?" And to add to that, are you fighting the current of your life? So let's see if I can get into this. Life is like a river. And it's like a river in that time marches forward no matter what you do. And we're floating down the river in our lives. And I'm seeing that a lot of unhappiness and discontent and frustration comes from when we go against the current. When the river of life goes in a direction and I say, I want it to go somewhere else. And I start pushing against the current, start swimming the other direction. And when I just choose to go with the direction that the river is taking me, things get better, they get easier. They get more fun and more aligned. And I think the biggest example in my life of recent is when a lady was not going to date me, and I pushed against that as hard as I could. I was so desperate to make that change. And over the past 6 months, 6 months ago, I was swimming against that current as hard as I could. It's like, no, she's going to date me if I'm fun enough, or if I'm, blank enough. If I can prove to her that she should love me, she'll love me. And that's not the way the current was going. And now I haven't talked to her in months. I'm realizing the current of my life was going away from her, was not going in the direction of her and I dating, falling in love, whatever. And a lot of, oh my gosh, look at this dog. Happy stick dog. The more I've been able to accept that the river of my life is not going in that direction, the more I've been able to set down the pain from that, set down the attachment I had there, been able to close the door and say, yeah, this is not serving me to be pushing against the river like this. I don't know the twists and turns on the river of my life, but they twisted and turned away from her, and that's okay. I wrote this song. It's an instrumental song, but I love the title. Sorry. It's called As It Is / As It Should Be. And the idea is things are as they should be. And my beautiful friend Cal and I have added an addendum to that, which is as it is as it should be, even when it sucks. And just more on this river analogy, like if you think about yourself riding down a river, like floating on a raft or something, you don't really have a lot of control. You can't go up, you can only go down. You can sort of go side to side, but the current, the rocks, everything will ultimately dictate where you're going. So I'm learning to just go where the current is taking me. That's not to say that we just give up and we lay in bed and watch YouTube all day and get drunk and fuck around. No, we still do stuff. I still am interested in creating things and controlling parts of my life I can control, but recognizing that the river of my life didn't take me down a path of being famous at 22. I was not going in that direction, and I could be resentful. I could say, the world doesn't understand how good my music is. It's been unfair how I haven't gotten my lucky break. It's the world's fault that I am where I am now. But how does that serve anyone? How does that serve me? The truth is, it's my fault I am where I am now. And I don't even want to say it that way, but just to kind of put that language back to back. I am where I am because I've chosen to be where I am. Yes, John, you can milk me. You can milk me all you want. But you are where you are, believe it or not, because you've chosen to be there. And that can be really challenging for people to do. You know, I did this thing called the Landmark Forum, February of 2022, and there was an exercise in there about choosing your life. So powerful, because a lot of suffering comes from going against the current, not choosing the life we have and wishing it was different. And we think in life, we get offered chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream, and you get to choose. But actually what happens in life is you get offered chocolate ice cream, and then you get to choose if you take it or not. And the point of the exercise is to choose parts of your life, not based on reason, not based on logic, not based on weighing pros and cons, but just irrationally, just to choose. And so people went around the room and they chose things in their life that had already been happening to them that they just had to choose. And people, it was such a radical exercise seeing people say things like, I choose that my husband committed suicide because I choose that my husband committed suicide. You know, this one woman chose that her mom is a dead prostitute. And just seeing these people radically self-accepting things about them that they wish they were different. You know, I can imagine if your spouse killed themselves, you could spend decades wishing it was different, grieving, mourning, being angry at the world, being angry at God, being angry at the universe. But the point of the exercise is that that's what you were given. Are you going to spend your whole life resenting it? Or are you going to choose that that's what you're given and be able to move forward from there? Our course instructor told us, one year she taught the course and there was a blind guy in it. And the blind guy, the whole weekend seemed disinterested, like it wasn't connecting. And then they did that I choose exercise and he stood up and said, I choose that I'm blind because I choose that I'm blind. And I guess he started crying, totally lost it, just like totally had this emotional release that freed him from the probably frustration, guilt, maybe not guilt, but frustration and anger and feelings of unfairness that might have plagued him his whole life. Because I can't imagine what it's like to be blind. It probably would be easy to feel like it's unfair. It's a cute dog. So for me, I've been choosing that girl that I liked doesn't want to see me ever again. And I choose that because I choose that. For no reason other than just to choose it. Not choosing it because, oh, now I'm seeing this other girl, or oh, fuck her, I didn't need her anyways. It's much more simple than that. There's no reason. Yes, John, you can milk the dog too. That was a very cute dog. And a cute lady, too. Ooh la la. Yeah. I choose, I'm 31 years old and I live alone because I choose that I'm 31 years old and I live alone. I choose that my financial situation is a little, is in limbo right now because I choose that my financial situation is in limbo right now. And just being able to, I think that goes with the current of life thing, where unhappiness comes from not choosing stuff that we've already gotten. And that's like swimming against the current, saying, I don't care that the river's going this way. I want to be going that way. And you're going to have a miserable time. Imagine if you literally went river rafting and you're in a boat and you're trying to go upstream, or you're even just trying to go left and you're just like running into the bank and it's still pulling you downstream. You can't escape where the river of life is taking you. Ooh, daddy. So that's my message for today. It's a message of radical self-acceptance. It's a message of self-love. Here's a question for you. Is it possible that the torment you are living in is a torment of your own creation? And that whatever hellish thing that's happening to you, whatever thing that's happening to you that's really hard, that's really frustrating, that feels unfair, what if you could change the story around it? Not change it, because maybe it's unchangeable. Maybe a relative died that you loved and they were taken too soon, as you feel. Maybe a relationship ended. Maybe you've got an illness that is incurable. You really have two options from there. Hello. I love that big fluffy dog. You can either let the circumstance feed your resentment, feed your frustration, feed your despair, or you can accept it radically, fully, illogically. Forget about logic for a second. Forget about pros and cons. Because here's the thing. Let's say you have a wife you love, and do you love her because of reasons, or do you love her for no reason? Because let's say you love your wife because she's really articulate, and then one day she gets Alzheimer's and she can't talk anymore. Is your love for her going to go away? You know, maybe I love my life because I get to play piano. What happens if my hands get chopped off or I get paralyzed or something? Can I still love my life if I'm loving it based on reasons? Based on the reason that I have a skill of playing piano? Or can I just love my life because I choose to love my life? No pros and cons, no nothing, but just an unshakable, illogical, not even illogical, but like logic isn't even in the equation, right? Just choosing for the sake of choosing. And I see that the more I can do that, the happier I am. And also the more I'm able to do things. Oh, thank you, John. Thanks for the jokes too. I hope this is helpful. I'm hoping I can make it all 2 miles today with talking. It's quite a challenge. So not only am I happier, the more I'm able to radically self-accept, the more I'm able to radically choose my life. I also see it creates the stage for me to do things I want to do and create things I want to create. Because I found that you can only move from where you are. Hello. And When I'm like wishing I was somewhere else, I get paralyzed. That's when I lay on the couch and watch YouTube all day. Oh man, my right foot is kind of starting to hurt. You're putting your life in a home after watching this. Okay, actually my knee is kind of hurting, so I'm gonna stop running. Wow, John, you choose to put your wife in the home because you choose to put your wife in the home. And when she's kicking and screaming and saying, no, I don't want to be put in a home, you just tell her, this is your life, just choose it. Say, I choose that I'm being put in a home because I choose that I'm being put in a home. That's very funny. Yeah, when you choose where you are, it makes it easier to go to where you want to go. When you say, okay, the river of my life is going this way, I'm going to go that way. Then you might actually start to see where there's forks in the river, where you have choices to say, I'm gonna go this way down the river. You know, for me, this year has been a lot of radical self-acceptance, a lot of choosing to be where I am. And when I choose where I'm at, it's easier to take a step forward. You know, I think I've talked about this a lot. When I wish that I had a bigger audience on the internet, when I say it's not fair, I've made so many videos. I've busted my ass on this. I play piano at a world-class level. I should have a bigger following. Well, that's not choosing where I am. That's actually resenting where I am. And when instead I just choose where I'm at. It's like, yeah, this is where I'm at. I've got 780 YouTube subscribers and 1,000 on TikTok and 2,000 on Instagram. And, you know, a handful of just choosing Devin Brooks watches my TikTok videos. John Hand, I guess, is commenting on my live streams. Just radically accepting everything I've done to my point up to this point in my life has gotten me to right where I am right now. And it couldn't have gotten me anywhere else. You can only be where you are. John, thank you. I aim to be inspiring. John, here's a joke I wrote about that, actually. I love this joke. This is my favorite joke that I've written. People often tell me I'm very inspiring. I have yet to inspire someone to lick my balls. I also just wrote this last night. This one's crazy. This year on September 11th, I'm going to eat 911 tacos and then blow up 2 government buildings to celebrate. Yeah, just keep going. Exactly, John. I mean, keep going. I think a way to keep going is to be honest about where you are and not try to pretend like you're not where you are, or not resent where you are because, you know, if only I had $100,000, then I could play shows. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yes, John, I love it. That's amazing. Whew. Yeah. Well, I think that's going to about wrap it up for me. If these are inspiring to you and you would like to contribute to me continuing to do this, I have a Venmo at Danny-Bauer. I even made a banner where I spelled it wrong. I haven't put up the Venmo banner in a while. Venmo, Danny Bauer, Venmo. But if you like this, send me a Venmo, because that will help me be able to do this more, so I don't have to go get a job at Arby's. If you send $10 or more and you're interested in a CD, I can either hand deliver you one if you live in Chicago, or mail you one if you live elsewhere. If you're interested in coaching or lessons, send me a message. And we've got our big album release show September 22nd at Epiphany Center for the Arts in Chicago. It's going to be a banger. We're going to pack the place. I'm very, very excited. So, all right, guys. All right, John, thanks for the comments. That was fun. I will see you all tomorrow.